Test, test. All right, so that's Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming to the DCBL Stadium.
No, I'll tell you what, Stuart, we'll just have a conversation on the mic until kick-off. Thank you. If anyone else would like to send suggestions on how to use a microphone, send them to stuart.murphy@vikings.co.uk. Turning off, that's a good suggestion. I appreciate that. Thank you. In fact, that conversation has taken us to the time where we read out today's teams. Time to read out today's teams. Our visitors, Barrow Raiders, line up as follows. Number 1, Luke Dresswell. Number 20, Daniel Knott. Number 4, Curtis Tay. Number 3, Shane Toll. Number 5, Luke Broadbent. Number 6, Bradley Walker. Number 7, Ryan Johnson. Number 10, Joe Bullock. Number 17, Alex Bishop. Number 8, Thomas Walker. Number 11, Ellis Robson. Number 13, Ryan King. And number 32, Ellis Gillen. Replacements today for the Raiders: number 9, Josh Wood. Number 31, Harvey Makin. 16, Greg Richards. 22, Jared Stack, and 18th man is number 15, Charlie Ensley. Today, ladies and gentlemen, your Widnes Vikings line up as follows. Number 23, sponsored by Western Motors, Nathan Connell. Number 2, sponsored by Keith Tate, Mike Butt. Number 12, sponsored by Widnes Events, Max Roberts. Number 3, sponsored by Teeling Management, Jim Owens. Number 5, sponsored by Teeling Management, Brian Ince. Number 17, sponsored by Western Motors, Danny Richardson. Number 7, sponsored by the Hollins family. Thought you might have cheered there, John. Sponsored by the Hollins family. Number 7, Tom Gilmore. Number 8, sponsored by KJ Plumbing and Heating, and Murray. Number 9, sponsored by DNR Motors, Jordan Johnson. Number 81, sponsored by Skinny Aesthetics, Jade Chapelhouse. Number 16, sponsored by the Martin family, Connie Lansing. Number 11, sponsored by G's Away Travel, Sam Wild. And number 13, sponsored by DNR Motors, Nick Gregson. Vikings replacements today, number 14, sponsored by Emily Services, Matty Bozard. 15, sponsored by Base Brands, Lewis Hall. 19, sponsored by Widnes First Brigade Old Boys, Adam Lawton. 20, sponsored by Vikings Away Travel at the Village Club, Jack Billington. 18th man is number 25, sponsored by Widnes Moorfield Under 10s, Kieran Taylor. Head coach is Alan Coleman, and he is sponsored by Landscape World. Delighted to welcome 2 mascots today to the game. Both called Freddie. First we've got Freddie Spruce and Freddie Doyle. Give them away, Freddie.
Good afternoon and welcome to the DCPL Stadium in Widnes for this afternoon's coverage on BBC Radio Merseyside's Rugby League service of Widnes Vikings versus Barrow Raiders. And I'm John Lawless, alongside me is James Gordon. We'll be bringing you full match coverage of this very interesting and important Betfred Championship game. And without any further ado, let's start with the teams. I'll give you the visitors first of all. At fullback, it's Luke Cresswell. On the wings, Daniel Knott and Luke Broadbent. The centres are Curtis Tear and Shane Toll. The halfbacks for Barrow are Brad Walker and Ryan Johnston. In the forwards, the starting props will be Joe Bullock and Tom Walker. Alex Bishop will be the dummy half. Ellis Robson and Ryan King are the second rowers. And Ellis Gillen was at loose forward. On the bench for the visitors, Josh Wood, Harvey Makin, Greg Richards and Jared Stack. The 18th man, if required, is Charlie Emsley.
And for Widnes, Nathan Connell continues at fullback. Ryan Ince is back on the wing with Mike Butt on the opposite side. Max Roberts in the centres alongside Jack Owens. Danny Richardson, fresh from his point-scoring exploits last week. He's at standoff with Tom Gilmore at scrum half. There's a return in the front row for Dan Murray, alongside Jay Chapel with Jordan Johnson also returning at hooker. Danny Langtry and Sam Wild are the starting back rowers, and Nick Gregson is the loose forward. On the bench for Widnes this afternoon, Matty Fozzard, Lewis Hall, Adam Lawton and Jack Billington. Kieran Taylor is the 18th man.
James, fair play to Alan Coleman, the Widnes coach. He's made it clear that these are the games that are the real test of his team and of his squad. It's all very well putting 116 points on North Wales Crusaders and maybe 50 or 60 points on some of the lesser lights in the championship, but he's put his neck on the line and that of his team by saying that these are the must-win games as far as he's concerned.
Well, of course, Widnes went on that 9-match winning run, didn't they, and then came a cropper at home to Oldham and Doncaster. Effectively, they've won 11 out of the last 13 now, with them 2 defeats. Widnes are making light work of the majority of teams in the championship, but unfortunately it's been in the games against the top 5 or 6, with the exception of the Newcastle Cup game, of course, that they've come unstuck. This is a big moment for Widnes today to prove that they are capable of competing with that top 4 or 5 teams. The other carrot as well for today's fixture is Widnes know a win would lift them above Barrow in the table.
Yeah, and Alan chose to rest 1 or 2 players for that Crusaders game, so it's good and rare in these days, isn't it, in the championship to be able to bring 1 or 2 fresh bodies in.
Yeah, and I think they have been hit by injuries. I think Matt Fleming, Morgan McWhirter and Liam Bent are all looking maybe like they might be done for the season now. So whereas Widnes have had times this season where they've had a lot of men fighting for places, they perhaps haven't had that recently, but they've still got enough bodies to be able to rotate it as we've seen.
Yep, and here come the Barrow Raiders, greeted by the Widnes fans and a handful of Barrow fans that are here as well. And Barrow have been a tricky side for Widnes, James, haven't they, in recent times? We know that earlier this season, away from home, in the reverse fixture, Barrow got the better of Widnes. But today, well, as it stands at the right of this moment, we've got decent playing conditions. Obviously, we know it's an artificial pitch here at Widnes, and Widnes have got to put the best foot forward.
Yeah, Barrow, from what I understand, haven't been playing terribly well, but they've been grinding out results and getting results, and that's why they're still above Widnes in the table. They were beaten at home last week by Newcastle, but they are fancy their chances against Widnes. As you say, a little bit of a bogey team maybe for Widnes over recent years. They are missing a few today, Barrow, including Team Linton, who has caused Widnes some problems with his pace in recent times.
Yeah, Widnes runs a lot as he's new today, but that's not too wrong. Led out by Jack Owens, and Widnes very disappointing in a couple of recent home games, as James said, against some of the better teams in the Championship. If they want to finish up the table in a position where you feel they've got a real chance of having a go at getting to the grand final, they could do with winning today's game and more like it when they come along. James Vella is this afternoon's referee. He does his fair amount of Super League games as well, so hopefully we'll get a good performance from him too. Looks like Widnes are going to kick off, James, and don't know where the players are going. They're all playing the same way.
There's all sorts of confusion because Barrow, to be fair, Barrow did come out and a couple of players went up the other way, and then they've now lined up at one end, and Widnes have come out as if they're kicking off at the same end, and now Barrow are all going to have to re-change where they were. So someone's compass was a bit off, I think, there.
Yeah, bit of one-sided game if everyone was playing towards the same try line, that's for sure. It is going to be Widnes to kick off. They'll be defending the lower house lane end of the ground, if you know your DCBL stadium. Danny Richardson's got the ball on the kicking tee. James Gordon's got the microphone.
Had a little bit of rain just a few moments before kickoff. It's been very warm over the last couple of weeks, so actually probably the temperature, I'm sure the players will be quite happy that the temperature's dropped a little bit. There's a little bit of a breeze in the air, no rain at the moment, so nice conditions for the players as Richardson kicks us off, and he's unlucky there because the bounce sat right up for Bullet. Might have, on a normal grass pitch, that might well have just skidded out for a dropout. That kick-off from Richardson. Fresh from his 48-point haul, which will almost certainly guarantee him a place in the history books, probably for the remainder of at least his life, you would think.
Possibly so.
So Barrow bring the ball forward. Bishop, the dummy half, comes to the left. They've got Ellis Gillam back in their lineup. He's rejoined Barrow on loan from Toulouse. He's had a few run-outs in Super League this season, having earned a deal there after going on trial in the off-season. Early kick from Johnston. Be right down the throat of Nathan Connell, who was running riot last week at times. He scored a few tries for himself, but probably lost count of the number of assists he chalked up.
It's important that Widnes start tough in this game, I think, James. Obviously, last week was a try-fest and a soft win in many ways. You can only beat what's in front of you, but Widnes need to show like they know they're in a game against tougher opposition.
Johnston comes to the right to play the ball with Gilmore. Now, short pass threatens to put Chapelhouse through a gap. Tom Walker did just about enough to halt Chapelhouse progress, and now Richardson with Langtry on his shoulder against his former club, brought down by Bullet. Widnes 15 out from the Barrow line. Last tackle, Gilmore, plenty of room to measure his kick, and it hanged, but it's well taken by Tier, Curtis Tier on that far side.
Yeah, he's caught that sort of waist height or chest height, hasn't he, James? I think Widnes would feel he maybe should have got more of a challenge for that ball.
Well, just looking at the kick as well, Button Roberts aren't the tallest, and the two Barrow outside backs on that side look like they've got a height advantage. It's probably on this near side where Widnes have maybe got a bit more chance with Ince and Owens, but we'll see whether that factors the direction of the kicking game later on. Barrow struggling to make metres here. They're on the last. They're only just outside the 30, and Brad Walker, former Widnes player, of course, will kick. Scruffy, but bounces awkwardly. Comes off the chest of Connell. And in the end, it turns into a half-decent kick, really, by the sheer difficulty of how Connell fielded it.
Just gave the chasers that bit of extra time, didn't it, to get a bit further up the field. But Widnes will be winning the mini field position battle in these first few minutes.
We've got no scoreboard today, so we'll have to have a little bit of a guess at the time. No stoppages as yet, as Johnston passes to the left to Sam Wilde, the textbook tackle on him by Alex Bishop, the hooker. Chappell out, goes looking for some space behind the markers. He's ragged to ground by Walker. They would have been in the Vikings Academy at the same time, and of course the first team. Richardson with a high kick on the last. This will be a test for Cresswell, the fullback. He makes light work of it, wearing a black skull cap. It's tackled on the Barrow 10-metre line. But Widnes never really in the game, were they? In the last home game against Doncaster, they struggled against Oldham as well, but they've started this with intent. That's a good tackle. They've dumped the man to ground. Johnston leading it. Now Toll with the next carry, and Widnes tackling tough inside the Barrow 20. Bishop now comes to the left to Ellis Robson, who's played for Widnes on a few occasions on dual registration in the past. Johnston has to kick from inside the 30. Again, it's a scruffy kick that skips on, and Connell gets hold of it, passes across to Butt. But, oh, surely was caught high. Referee says it was on the shoulder. Awkward looking pass from Richardson. Roberts reaches behind him to claim it and drag the ball in. As John said, Widnes having the better of the territory so far without really showing any signs of breaking the deadlock. Ince plays the ball for Johnston. Now Gregson to Sam Wilde. Wilde goes looking on the left. Walker grabs hold of him, hauls him down, and Wilde didn't get up to play that ball. And Barrow will have a turnover. They'll get the ball back.
Pity that from Widnes. They were finding some decent go forward there, having made Barrow kick from deep in their own half, but just a bit too much haste from Sam Wilde and trying to play the ball. Been put up by the referee, so Barrow now get the ball in a slightly advanced field position on their own 30.
Bullock with the first carry, so an opportunity maybe for Barrow to get into Widnes' half for the first time. Walker to Johnston, they're keen to give it air. Cresswell helps it on to Toll. Jack Owens makes a good one-on-one tackle, also takes out Broadbent at the same time. Broadbent brings Barrow into the Widnes half for the first time in the match. We've had 6 minutes or so. Gillam, well met by Murray in midfield. They can't bring Gillam to ground though. Now Bishop to Walker, good line speed from Richardson. Forces Barrow to come back inside through King. Barrow on the last, 35 out. Here's Gillam. They're running it on the last here. Walker, it's tried to be tipped on. Cresswell did Ince get a hand in there. We'll soon see. I think Ince is looking at the referee a little sheepishly. And yeah, Ryan Ince judged to have got his hand in there when there was nothing on for Barrow, really. You can't really blame Ryan Ince too much for that. Just an actual instinct to go for the tackle.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to make a tackle, wasn't he? But they've had a real result there, Barrow, because as you say, they overrun the Widnes were about to get that ball back in decent field position, but that touch hand of Ryan in has gifted Barrow another set and well inside the Widnes half.
Yes, that is Barrow are going to have the first proper look at the line in the match. Bishop to Gillam, straightens up. Got runners on both sides here, Barrow. Flat pass to Johnston. Now out the back to Toll. Ryan Ince shoots in. He halts Toll's progress, but Toll shrugged him off, and it requires Gilmore to come in to help. Toll's pinching a good few metres after the tackle was complete, but isn't made to go back. Now Bullock, Johnston and Gregson hold him up. And now just 5 out, Barrow. Bishop short pass. Has the ball gone down there? Is it over the line? The referee has said it's been knocked on by Barrow over the line, and Widnes will get a 20-metre tap. I actually thought the knock-on happened far earlier than the referee seemed to signal there.
Yeah, a lot of the crowd around us thought it was a forward pass as well, and I have to say I'm in their camp anyway, so justice probably done on that occasion, James.
Yes, we're in the 8th minute of the match, still Widnes 0, Barrow 0. Now Owens, good fend up on Toll. He nearly got away down the right, Jack Owens. He'll do well not to end up in touch here in the end. He does get to ground. Now Langtree, strong carry, playing in the second row this afternoon, Danny Langtree. Gilmore running across the line. Oh, surely hit late by Gillam there. Wild will run inside. Surely Widnes will be getting a penalty regardless here. Wild brings it through. Referee unmoved. Gilmore surely taken out late there. But play goes on. Widnes within 20 of the Barrow line. Gregson takes it right to the line. Tries to shrug off Johnston, but goes to ground. Widnes still got tackles in the bank, and they've made it right inside the Barrow 10 from the 20-metre tap. Gilmore, inside pass to Murray. There was a slip by Creswell, but it perhaps helped him make the tackle. Now the last, Richardson to Connell. Connell with a step, and Connell goes to the line, and Connell's over. And Widnes get the first try of the afternoon. They worked Barrow up the field quite easily there. All starting from that run from Jack Owens on the right. It's been finished on the last by Nathan Connell. And in the 8th minute, Widnes take the lead. Widnes 4, Barrow 0.
Yeah, he's got such great footwork, hasn't he, Nathan Connell? He gets those balls. Sometimes it doesn't look that promising. It looks like the opposition have numbered up well. But that left foot step of his is usually enough to get him past the first man. And when he's that close to the line, that can be enough to make sure he gets over the line. Widnes probably benefited in the end, James, from not having that penalty given. I think Tom Gilmore's talking to the referee about the late hit on him now, which James Vella didn't give. But as it turned out, Widnes' momentum was such that they scored a couple of tackles later anyway. But I think Tom Gilmore's just making sure James Vella is aware of the fact that he did get hit late. But as I say, all's well that ends well, and that's Widnes 4, Barrow 0.
Yeah, as you say, the carry from Wild and the decent play of the ball, they wouldn't have benefited from that had the penalty been given. And so Richardson kicked 18 out of 20 last week. He won't get that many attempts this week, but he'll be hoping for a similar percentage of success. This is his first attempt of the afternoon.
It's about 10 in, isn't it, James? It looks like from the left-hand touchline. He kicked a few of those of the 18 he kicked last week were from pretty wide out, so he's capable of knocking these over, that's for sure.
Here he comes, right-footed. And he's dragged it at the near post, so it remains 4-0. Widnes hoping to make it a hat-trick of wins for our sides this weekend. St Helens had a much-needed win over Catalan last night, and then Warrington have rolled past Hull KR earlier this afternoon. They were 22-0 up at half-time, but they've come away 34-12 winners, Warrington, which is a real boost to their playoff chances. Perhaps maybe St Helens won't be too pleased with that score. But it was a very entertaining second half, especially last night at the Brewdog Stadium. But here at the DCBL Stadium, it's Widnes 4, Barrow 0. Brad Walker's kick-off skips off the turf. Gilmore claims and then hands to Murray. Murray will play it for Johnston. Now Chapelhow straightens up. Barrow can't get into ground. He trying to break free. Chapelhow play the ball. Now Wild tries to find some broken defenders behind the markers.
Uses experience there, Chapelhow. Didn't need to sneak a quick play the ball.
Good movers on the right here, and Connell is one of them. Steps inside Johnston, just about does enough to keep hold of him long enough for Walker to come in and help complete the tackle. Now here's Gregson. Widnes just inside the Barrow half on the last tackle. Johnston, short side play to Gilmore. Gilmore kicks high. Owens is going to get there. Well, Creswell makes the catch, goes to ground. And with 10 minutes gone, Widnes lead 4-0. Here's John Lawless.
Yeah, Widnes moving up quickly in defence again. The bits of good field position Barrow have had so far have been gifted to them, really. When Widnes have made them start from their own end, they've struggled to get forward. And here they are now on their own 30. 3 Widnes tacklers again. Getting in there, throwing the play the ball down. And that's 5 gone now in this set. So again, they'll be kicking from well inside their own half, the Raiders. And the ball is drilled between centre and fullback, but gets a nice bounce for Ryan Ince. And he brings it back. He's looking to link up with the people on the left of the field. That's a good run by Ince, using his pace to outdistance the opposition defence. And now we have a penalty for Widnes. Completely sure what it was for. I'm presuming it's for too long in the tackle. Yeah, flop, in fact, according to James Vella. And Widnes quickly get on with it, and they'll start this set now. 10 inside Barrow territory. Roberts takes the tap, goes himself. Pinches a quick 10 or 12 metres. Johnston at dummy half. Here's Richardson, Gilmore, now Murray. Week off last week for Dan Murray, so hopefully he's feeling fresh for this game. Richardson again, runners inside and out, goes short to Chapelhow. That's a good tackle. Puts Chapelhow on his back, but Widnes are only 10 out. And now I think he's knocked on, according to the referee, in the tackle there, Chapelhow. And that's a shame for Widnes because they built good field position again. And we're looking to add to that lead, but Barrow will be relieved that that particular set has come to an end.
Yeah, they appealed for it, the Barrow defenders on the floor, and they'll take that as a win because Widnes were looking a little bit dangerous there, threatening to go back to back.
So it's Barrow with head and feet at the scrum, 10 out from their own line, centre field. And Widnes are quickly in with the tackle again. Gregson and Chapelhow now help out Jordan Johnston in the tackle. Sam Wilde chasing out a marker well there. Roberts has been pushed over, but Barrow still not made it into Widnes territory other than when they were kind of gifted in there. But now they're just going to cross the halfway, but that'll be 5 tackles. And, well, it's a high bomb there. I think there was a little bit of play acting going on in the back play there, looking for a penalty for the hit after the kick. Not forthcoming. Ryan Ince fields. Ball is thrown long to Mike Butt, who can be a dangerous customer if he gets a bit of space. Hint of a flop there from Barrow. I think James Vella thought about penalising it with good ball movement by Widnes. Here's Max Roberts in a bit of space now. Going down that left centre channel. Well, he's been got round the head there. I think it may have been Bullock coming across. And we've got a little bit of a coming together of the players on the far side from our commentary position. But he's a tall man, Joe Bullock, and it's a long way for him to get down. Max Roberts isn't that tall, but that doesn't give him the excuse to take him round the neck.
Yeah, it wasn't a malicious tackle from Bullock. He was just, Roberts had made a run and he was a desperate defender, wasn't he? Had to stop him. So Widnes will get a penalty.
I think Widnes' speed of the play the ball is putting a couple of these Barrow players into oxygen debt here, and I think Widnes want to keep up that tempo and get on with things quickly. A little bit of a delay here because Roberts, as a result of that high shot, is having a bit of treatment. But Richardson will put the ball to touch. Just dinks it in. So Widnes are going to start this set 25 from the Barrow line. And here's Chapelhow. Widnes are in prime position here with a set of tackles in the bank. Inside the Barrow 20, here's Gilmore. Men in motion is Murray, takes the ball on the drop-off. That's a quickish play, the ball as well. Gregson, Richardson, numbers on the left for Widnes, but they just ran themselves out of a bit of space there, really. Now the ball comes back to the right. Richardson has it again. He drops it off for Gregson. Just 5 metres out here, Widnes. Here's Jordan Johnston. Richardson, Gilmore, numbers on the right for Widnes. Here's Jack Owens. That's good defence from Barrow. Just shuffling across, but Widnes are still knocking on the door. Here's Langtree. He stopped just short of the line. Plays the ball to Johnston. He's going to have a go himself, Jordan Johnston. And he's been tackled just short. Few of the crowd thought that Johnston had plunged over the line there, but he didn't quite reach the line. So second prize for Widnes is forcing Barrow to come right off that try line.
Yeah, it looked like for all money Johnston was over there, but good defence from Barrow. Both sides slid across. It was a good tackle by Toll on Owens as Widnes moved the ball.
No penalty should be part of the mantra. Was that offloaded before the tackle was made? Probably, just about. Here's Bullock then. I think that was a slight sign of Barrow's desperation to find some way of forcing themselves further up the field. It wasn't an offload that you'd normally see tried in that position, but it's given them a little bit of breathing space. They're now on their own 40 and about to cross into Widnes territory. That's good defence from Nick Gregson in the middle. Last tackle. Ball is dinked towards the corner. I don't think Widnes will be too bothered if that goes out. As it is, it takes a little bit of a turn inside and Connell hands on to Butt.
Barrow just upped the tempo a little bit on that set, didn't they? Tried to get a few quicker play the balls and a couple of offloads. Maybe they sense that they need to fight fire with fire.
Here's Ryan Ince now for the Vikings. Plays the ball to Richardson. Now Langtree. Been playing a bit more in the middle of late. He's in the second row today, but happy to do some work in that middle channel. Here's Jordan Johnston. That's a good run by him. Almost makes it to halfway. Plays the ball to Gilmore. Now Owens. And Owens, well, I thought he ghosted through for a second there, Jack Owens. Gets a good front foot play. The ball leaves a Barrow player in the ruck. High kick from Richardson. That's probably gone a bit too far, to be honest with you. But again, Barrow get the ball deep in their own territory. We've got about 20 minutes on the clock. Here's James.
You sense Widnes are on top of the match, and they have been throughout the match. Only that 4-point advantage though. So I think Barrow will be fairly content with how things are. Harvey Makin is going to make his way on for Joe Bullock, the first change we've seen. Johnston for Barrow, helps it on to Gillen. Widnes had shown some interest in Ellis Gillen as well. He opted to return to Barrow.
Potential 40-20 this, James. Nathan Connell needs to get his skates on.
It was a it was a cheeky effort from Johnston, wasn't it? Just a little kick, really, a low kick, left-footed down the touchline, but the bounce was awkward for Connell this way and that. It kept threatening to fool him, and it meant that although they didn't get a 40-20 Barrow, the chase was good. It might just enable them to just get a foothold in the territory battle here, Barrow. As now Max Roberts in from left centre, still no Joe Edge for Widnes. He's tackled just short of the halfway line. Johnston now at dummy half. Here's Langtree. Johnston off the line to help Robson with the tackle. And Widnes only just in the Barrow half, and it's the last. Johnston will come to the short side with Gilmore, and Gilmore will dribble it down the line. I think he might have had a brush off Johnston on the way through, but Cresswell fields, and he's well met by Gregson and Owens.
I still just feel Widnes are getting the best of the territory battle. You'd just like to see them turn that into a slightly bigger lead.
Greg Richards now coming on, former St Helens man. He's coming on for Barrow in place of, I think that's Walker. Who's
that's a 40-20 attack out on the full, that, James.
Not a great effort at all from Brad Walker. That sails out, and so a chance really for Widnes to hammer home this territorial advantage from here, because they'll start the set inside the Barrow 40.
Again, a slight sign of desperation, I think, from Barrow. They just know they're not really getting the meters they need to put pressure at the other end of the field, and they're trying to take a couple of shortcuts, and that shortcut hasn't worked.
Thomas Walker.
So, chance this for Widnes to get forward. Chapel out attracting the attention of three. Stays on his feet, plays it for Johnston. Now Gregson, Richardson
Nice.
to Connell, and Connell weaves through the line, and Connell steps on the fullback. Can't quite get a pass away. He'll be tackled a couple of metres short, but a great run from Nathan Connell, and a big chance this now for Widnes. Johnston at dummy half, comes out the back for Gilmore. Now to Owens. Toll saw it. Owens pulled out. It bounced for Ince. Toll just rushed out the line there and probably saved it for Barrow. Langtree, probably the slowest scoot from dummy half you've ever seen there. He did well to make something of it in the end. And Chapelaar will try and crash over from close range, but Barrow have held him out. And Widnes are on the last, just to the right of the post. Gilmore through hands to Richardson. They've got numbers on the left. Connell has it, steps inside one, but can't get past Gillam, who slams the door shut. Connell stays down, holding his face. Barrow survive.
Yep, they're doing well when Widnes move the ball wide to the right, Barrow. But on the left, Widnes look a bit more dangerous, where Connell tends to, or in this game has tended to chime in. He's having a bit of treatment now following that heavy contact.
Yeah, nothing in it from Gillam. It was a good tackle because Connell had stepped inside one man, and Connell was there waiting for him. And actually, they're signalling for a HIA here on Connell. So Nathan Connell is going to have to come off for 15 minutes, which will require a reshuffle. You'd expect Owens will go to full back, and there'll be someone will go out to the centres, perhaps Sam Wilde. We'll see how they reshuffle. There's not a great deal of movement on the Widnes bench at the moment. I think maybe Lawton is thinking about it, is he? Yeah, Adam Lawton is going to come on, I'd expect. And he's putting his bid back on, is Adam Lawton. It's Billington who's going to come on for Widnes. So Owens will go to full back. What are they doing here? Langtree. Is Langtree? Gregson's moving now. Nobody knows what's happening. I think Langtree's gone into the centre, hasn't he? And Gregson's gone into the second row. There's only one place Billington's playing, let's be honest, and that's right through the middle. It's Richards bringing it back for Barrow. Still Widnes 4, Barrow 0.
Hopefully Connell will be back, because he's looking Widnes' most dangerous player, isn't he, at the moment? That was I was about to say that was an incorrect play, the ball, but it doesn't matter now anyway, because it's been dropped clean.
Yeah, Ellis Robson with the knock on. Josh Wood on off the bench at dummy half. It was his pass that Robson dropped. I think Widnes just seemed a little bit slow to react to that incident, really. There was a lot of looking over, asking what's happening.
Yeah, there's still a few arms going wide, isn't there? As if to say, do we know what we're all doing now?
Yeah,
substitution for Barrow, number 9, Josh Wood replaces number 17.
Gilmore feeds the scrum. Johnston at loose forward. Flings it out to Roberts. Nice run around play with Richardson, and Owens cuts back inside, shrugs off a couple of tacklers. He's still going, Jack Owens, but he's going more side to side than anywhere. He straightens up and he's eventually tackled by Cresswell. 20 out Widnes. Johnston to Murray. Good shot on Murray. It was Makin, I think he made most of the impact, but it was the tackle around the legs that halted Murray. And Chapelaar's going to need some stopping here. Richards again involved, but Widnes within 2 metres of the Barrow line. Johnston looks left, then looked right, and everyone had ran past him, and in the end he just gets tackled himself. Gilmore to Murray. Widnes trying to crash over here. Shouts for a high tackle on Murray, nothing given, and it's the last. And Widnes have just burned through a couple of tackles on the line. They come out to the right with Owens, and there's a surefire obstruction on Johnston. I mean, if the referee hadn't seen it, Johnston certainly made sure he did see it with the theatrics, but Gregson obstructs Johnston, and Barrow survive again. And I say Widnes maybe not getting the points on the board that maybe their territory ought to have earned them so far.
Yeah, that shift to the right just looks a little bit pedestrian, James, doesn't it? And we saw how easily Doncaster, for example, dealt with that. It's just not quite crisp enough. Maybe someone needs to straighten that one up a little bit. But still well on top in this game, Widnes. But it's the 4-0 scoreline that's the worry.
So Wood on at dummy half, as I said, for Barrow. He's lively, Josh Wood. So Widnes will have to be cautious of his threat from dummy half. Here's Richards. They've got movers on the left here. Barrow didn't quite work out for them. As Johnston is wrapped up by Chappelow. Wood, there we go from dummy half. Almost split the markers. Last tackle though, Barrow only just in the Widnes half. Brad Walker, high kick. Be a test of this for somebody. Ryan Ince is going to let Barrow have it, which was the wise option, and it falls to Billington. And Billington does the right thing. He carries it to halfway. I think he was looking to see whether there was any quicker men around him to get an offload away, but Ryan Ince made a very good call there. And Widnes have now got a penalty for offside.
I thought Widnes made a wise choice by not trying to catch that ball, James.
Yeah.
Because there was only a couple of places it was going. It was never going to bounce towards the Widnes line with its trajectory. And as it turned out, it got a great bounce for Jack Billington, who suddenly found himself with 70 metres to run into.
So, chance again for Widnes. Billington runs into Richards as Jay Chappelow comes off to be replaced by Adam Lawton. Now Richardson to Dan Murray. King puts his hand up in apology.
Now that was a proper court anger job, that, James, I think.
Yeah, he's got that in his game, Ryan King, but he, in his defence, he did put his hand up in apology straight away, and he has gone over it.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that when I was visiting my dentist on Monday.
I think the referee's just saying to Ryan Johnston that Barrow just conceded a few penalties in the last few minutes. King, I think, was done for offside earlier in this set. He's just been done for a high tackle, so I think the referee's just making the point that Barrow needs to just cut that out, otherwise they might get in a bit more trouble. Do Widnes go for two here?
I hope they don't, because I think they've got to keep that tempo high. When they play high tempo, stuff like what just happened, because I think Barrow were just struggling to live with that high tempo.
Gilmore tackled ball in hand. Widnes 15 out. This is the first tackle. Billington. Oh, he went low, Billington, but these days doesn't really matter if he gets caught round the head. But here comes Lawton off a short ball from Gilmore. Barrow scramble and hold him down, and he's lost the ball, Lawton, on the floor. And Barrow are responding to everything that Widnes are throwing at them at the moment. Widnes trying to go through the middle, can't find a way through. Barrow keeping the score at 4-0.
Yep, he's more than capable of bulldozing his way over Adam Lawton. I just like to see him hit a hole, and then he's very difficult to stop. But that knock on has just lifted the pressure again from Barrow, and I think they were about to buckle.
We've had just about half an hour then. Widnes 4, Barrow 0. Still finally poised, John Lawless.
So Barrow get the ball from the scrum. It's not a bad run, first run, but Ryan Ince comes in and sorts the situation out. And now, too slow in the tackle, Widnes. According to James Vella, Ryan Ince clearly is in disagreement with that, but it's going to piggyback Barrow out of their own 20. Doesn't bite off too much with the kick to top, but every little helps, doesn't it, for Barrow at the moment?
I think Paul will be really pleased that it's only 4-0.
Yeah, I think you're right. As I say, Widnes dominating territory in this game, and they're winning 4-0 on the scoreboard, but probably should be a bit more comfortable than that. There's Barrow now across the halfway line. Ryan King trying to fight people off.
Raiders substitution number 22.
No, new set of 6 for the Raiders here. King's fighting in the tackle have worked for him.
Well, he's got to play the ball where he's tackled. That's what the referee says.
Yeah, he's right as well. All a bit messy. Jack Billington getting caught up in that there. Oh, that's good defence from Jordan Johnston. We'd expect nothing less, really. But for the first time in a while, Barrow found themselves at what for them would be considered the right end of the field. A flat pass, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt from dummy half. A good offload though. Here's King again.
Roberts did well.
He did. Well, they're within 5 metres of the Widnes line now. This is the last tackle. They're going up a very short side. That's good defence on the far side. Widnes jamming up quickly. And Richardson, Roberts getting in there with a good solid tackle. And Widnes have the ball back, albeit close to their own try line.
Yeah, Richardson saw what was happening, didn't he? And he really stepped up straight away. And that just shut down Barrow's options. They might be a little disappointed with how they ended that set, Barrow, given it's the first time they've been up there for a while.
Sam Wilde takes the ball up. Now Widnes move it a little bit further away from the ruck. Short ball finds Lawton. That's a good run by Lawton. And a good play the ball by Lawton. Allows Owens to jump out of dummy half. Now Hall. So Widnes have done well to get away from their own line there. Still tackles in the bank and they're approaching halfway. Here's Murray. It's 5 tackles now for the Vikings. Richardson goes to the sky. I don't think he's quite kicked down the way you want. Sometimes these work for you though. And well, that nearly worked for Widnes. So it was knocked back by Barrow, Ryan Johnston. They've ended up in possession.
Yeah, Johnson, his body position was good, so he knew that if he spilled the ball, at least he was facing his own line. Richardson sliced the kick.
Billington in with the tackle along with Johnston.
Number 14, Matty Fozzard, sponsored by Emery Services. We played 8 down at Murray.
Matty Fozzard is on. Often leads to a little bit of something for Widnes. The ball is dinked forward by Brad Walker there. Not much in the way of a chase on it. Makes it easy for Ryan Ince to pick it up and bring it up almost to the Widnes 20. I think they're already gassed. Barrow, if Widnes can keep this ball in play and keep playing the ball quickly, they might find some joy. Here's Mike Butt. And that's another good run by the winger. Widnes are just 10 short of halfway. Here's Hall. Gilmore out the back. Owens. Langtree takes the ball well. He's looking for the flick pass to Ince there. It wasn't on, so he did the right thing and stuck hold of it. Here's Adam Lawton now. He crashes in. He's tackled on the Barrow 30. This is the last. Gilmore. Oh, that needs to take a kind bounce, and it isn't getting one. Not the best end to the set for Widnes. The ball is bounded dead. And Barrow get a 7-tackle set from the centre of the 20-metre line.
Yeah, I don't know whether they just changed their mind as to what they were doing there late, Widnes, and that just meant the kick was a little rushed.
So Barrow then have possession on their own 30. Widnes committing numbers to the tackle. That's a good run. Made it to Widnes territory. Richards. He's tackled 10 inside Widnes' half the field. Still a couple of tackles left in the set here for Raiders. So they're a little bit heavy-legged. This will be the last. I think we're going to see a bomb here. No, we're not. We're going to see the ball moved wide. We'll probably see a kick now. There it is. In behind Mike Butt. And in the end, he's had to scramble to get back. Widnes have got to come from deep. Here's Max Roberts.
He's done well not to end up in touch there as well, Mike Butt, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was probably praying that ball would just roll over the touchline. But it wouldn't. Fozzard at dummy half. Joe Hall was entirely... Johnston. One of these has got to grow hurt soon. Johnston was entirely expecting that ball. Here's Jack Owens. So, kicking from deep, Gilmore. And that one's perhaps not his Sunday best either, because Luke Cresswell had moved to catch it. And for once, Barrow find themselves just having a mini win in the field position competition. Roberts and Fozzard are quickly upping the tackle. Offload. And now Barrow come forward. That solid hit from Fozzard, and he's helped out by Hall. Johnston didn't really have any runners, so he cut inside and has lost the ball under pressure from Billington. That's good defence by the Vikings. As we approach half-time here, Widnes with the early score.
It's gone a bit stale, the game, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I think half-time's probably needed.
I think my judgment of the breeze here is that it's slightly behind Barrow's back at the moment, so Widnes are going to have the benefit of that shortly in the second half. The sun has peeped through the clouds here. A little bit of treatment for Adam Lawton. And a welcome rest for the rest of the players. Widnes get the ball from the scrum. Here's Owens. Nice from Owens, and he's broken clear. Jack Owens, he's got the whole field behind him. It's going to be a fantastic solo try by Jack Owens. And he touches the ball down about 5 metres in from the left-hand touchline. He just took an outside line there, Owens. And too much pace for the Barrow player on the inside. The man from the outside failed to jam in. And Jack just accelerated away for a fine solo try. And probably the try that Widnes felt they needed, given the relative dominance in this first half so far.
Yeah, excellent try from Owens. Has been up there as one of the best for Widnes this afternoon so far. Raced away on the left. It looks like Connell's passed his HIA. He's back down on the bench, so he might be returning to fullback soon, and he would have been pleased with that try.
Yeah, he had a slight hallmark of his about it, didn't it? And yeah, Jack just taking the outside line on the man opposite, and Barrow not jamming in to shut him down, and he took full advantage of it. Danny Ritson will have a kick, not dissimilar to the one he had from the Connell try, a little bit wider out, of course, but very similar, so maybe learns a bit from that one. 8-0 for the Vikings. Widnes line hasn't hardly been threatened a couple of times, James, but that's all.
Yeah, they should have had them two. I think 2 sets, haven't they, close to the line, Barrow, but Widnes, as you say, have dominated the territory. I think certainly they'll be happier to be 2 scores in front. I guess that goes without saying, but I think Widnes probably would have been disappointed had it only been 4-0 at half-time based on the pattern of the game.
Here's Richardson then. And he's missed that one. So, 2 tries, 8-0 for the Vikings, half-time imminent here at the DCBL Stadium. Well, Raiders, they've not had much of the game really, as we've been saying, but obviously if you're only 8-0 down in a modern rugby league game, you're well and truly in it. Connell waiting to come back and take his place. I think his time, he's virtually up in the head bin. As Barrow kick off, that's an awkward looking kick off. Widnes will need to catch Ryan Ince. I think slightly more luck than judgment in that trap, but he's got the ball and that's the main thing. So Johnston comes off, Connell comes on. There'll be another rejig for the Vikings. Owens will go back into the centre. Probably thinking, why am I going back into the centre? They've just run 60 yards for the try. So Widnes have it on their own 30. Is there time for any more scoring in this first half as Hall takes it up? That's a good tackle. Centre field, dumping Hall on his back. Fozzard kicks from dummy half. He was outside the 40 there, which was a pity. But the kick's still a good one. It's taken on his own try line by the Barrow winger, who's taking the high road here. Blue Broadbent. Probably wish he took the low road now because he's been flattened.
Didn't see Max Roberts coming there.
Excellent kick from dummy half by Matty Fozzard there. And as they have done a lot in this half, now Barrow find themselves trying to drag their way out of their own 20. As Gilmore and Langtree make tackle. Dummy half almost dummies his way through, but fortunately Langtree was awake to that. Last tackle, Johnston. That kick should be easy meat for Mike Butt, and it is. There's a bit of space ahead of Mike Butt here. And you know we can be dangerous when that's the situation. He's tackled 5 short of halfway. Richardson, Roberts. Don't know how long's left in this first half, but I just think they look like they're wilting a little bit to me, Barrow, as Hall dances forward. Well, the answer is not very long, because there's the hooter for half-time. And, well, Widnes have a lead. Probably could be a little more of a lead, but they've not conceded any points. So the job at the moment, half done, James.
Yeah, Widnes have played well in that first half. The only thing they'll be disappointed with is that they've not got more than the 8 points on the board, because the territory that they've had has probably warranted that. But it's a crucial game this for Widnes, and halfway through they've got the lead.
Yeah, it was a good start by the Vikings. They dominated field position early on, and Nathan Connell sliced through, as we're used to seeing him do, to make it 4-0. Danny Richardson couldn't add the extras to that one. It was then a long time before we saw any further scoring. It always looked more likely that it would be the Vikings who came up with the next score. Barrow's entry into the Widnes 20s were few and far between. And but it took a Jack Owen solo about 3 or 4 minutes before half-time from a scrum. Owens, who'd moved to full-back after Nathan Connell had gone to the head bin, just took the ball, first pass off the scrum, and sliced through the Barrow defence and scored wide out on the left. Again, Widnes couldn't add the extras, but that's how we've reached half-time here at the DCBL Stadium with a scoreline of Widnes Vikings 8, Barrow Raiders 0. Join us for full second half commentary.
And the big golden gamble prize winner goes to 595050. So that's 595050. Thank you. his number at number 475. If you know anyone who wants to do it, let us know. But Arthur is the man. Arthur has the lowest heritage number, 475. Please put your hands together and show your appreciation. Few shout outs, ladies and gentlemen, while we've got time. Many happy returns to lifelong supporters of the club, please support old David Barrow. 50 on Monday the 29th of June, and 30 since his father Brian will be enjoying his birthday this coming Monday. Many happy returns to Lisa Trumpet from West End Motors, and 30 greetings to Bobby on the 9th of July, and happy birthday also to Bo Evans on the same day. Popular day for a birthday. Also, Danny Rowbottom on July the 9th. And it's 21st birthday. Greetings to LDSL star Liam Whitstanley-Hardy. And that's last Tuesday. And if you want to give him a wave, he's there at the bus shelter. Thanks, Liam. And he's to start that today at the LDSL Festival in Wigan. And please, one last time, show your appreciation. For Arthur Hughes, debut in 1958, starred in the 64 Cup final. And he's still not fit enough to play. Welcome back to the field, today's visitors, Barrow Raiders.
Welcome back to the DCBL Stadium in Widnes for second half coverage of Widnes Vikings versus Barrow Raiders in the Betfred Championship. I'm John Lawless, alongside me is James Gordon. Half-time score, Widnes 8, Barrow 0. Just had a terrific moment here at the DCBL Stadium where Arthur Hughes was introduced to the crowd. He is the man with the lowest heritage number of all of the Widnes players. So as far as we know, he's the man who played for Widnes earlier than any other one still living. Made his debut in 58, played in the 64 Cup final. Of course, his brother Eric was also a Widnes legend. And that was a fantastic round of applause that he got. Barrow to kick off the second half. Here's James Gordon.
Yeah, so Widnes 8-0 up. Brad Walker gets us back underway, and the kick-off bounces up for Ryan. It's an interesting game, a finely poised game, considering Widnes' relative dominance of that first half. They might be a little anxious that they're not more than 8 points in front, but better to be 8 points in front than not. It's Fozzard is tackled on the 40. Widnes starting with a bit of tempo at the start of the second half. Billington to Richardson. Widnes got numbers on the left-hand side. Wild straightens up, pumps the legs. It's a good tackle in the end by Brad Walker. Now Richardson drops the ball off for Hall. Now Fozzard comes to the left on the last with Richardson. Richardson dinks a kick up. Cresswell, the easy meat for him there.
Not a bad first set by the Vikings though. Getting to the kick. If it was a little higher, that kick, I think Widnes got a challenge for that ball, but they're hoping that the pattern of the second half will be similar to the first, I presume, James, with Barrow having to come from their own line on many occasions.
Well, I suppose, although Widnes are only 8 points in front, Barrow get a penalty. It's Barrow that have got to do the moving and shaking in the second half, isn't it, to get themselves back in the game?
Yeah, Jack Billington's been penalised there for holding on too long in the tackle. I think he was a little unlucky. Got the impression that Luke Broadbent, the Barrow winger, was trying to edge forward after the tackle was made, and Jack Billington didn't want him to do so, but Barrow aren't complaining.
It's Greg Richards. Decent pickup for Barrow for this season. He's had a decent career as a full-time player. He was at Toulouse last season. Now here's Jared Stack. Gets an offload away to Josh Ward, and it threatens to open up for Barrow. An important tackle by Lewis Hall halts their progress, but the 25 out from the Widnes line. Creswell goes from dummy half again. Oh, there's a 6 again called Lewis Hall, not square. And Barrow piling the pressure on here at the start of the second half. 15 metres out. Richard straightens up again and almost breaks free and gets within a couple of metres of the line. And Barrow sense an opportunity here. Stack runs through the line. That could have been forced to go down the man. He was tackled anyway, was making. Now Brad Walker. King running back on the inside. Runs into the shoulder of Billington. Oh, what he almost gets away, King. It was Langtree and Wild. King nearly shrugged them off and got over. Barrow asking questions here at the start of the second half. Brad Walker now is held up underneath the posts. Last tackle. Wood at dummy half. The referee stops it. Not too sure what for, but Barrow are going to be able to play the ball again. They shift it out left. Johnston, a high kick. Ince is under it. Ince knocks it down, and Barrow are going to get another set here for my money. Referee's looking at the touch judge. And, yep, it's going to be another set for Barrow here, and real pressure being built at the start of this second half.
Yeah, I don't think Ryan Ince was quite aware of where the try line was there in relation to where he was on the touch line. I think he'd have been safe letting that ball go and then just looking to make a tackle if he had to make one. But easy for me to say from here.
So, Barrow, again, we'll have a look at the Widnes line through King. They probably only had 2 good ball sets in the whole of that first half. They've had 2 already in this second half as Wood tries to use Richardson as a decoy because Richardson wasn't square at the play the ball, so couldn't get involved, and Wood used him as a blocker really, but he's been held up over the line, and Barrow will go back to the 10 metres. Richard short pass to Stack. Stack goes close. Wood from dummy half to Walker, steps away from Fozzard, shrugs Fozzard off. Billington with a big tackle, but the referee has given a penalty for a high tackle. And Widnes clinging on here. This will be a third set effectively for Barrow. Wood taps from the penalty, goes out to Johnston. Ellis Robson, held up by Lawton and Fozzard. Wood again, they come back to centre field. Johnston's long pass to Walker, good tackle by Richardson, had to get Brad Walker there. Could have conceded the 6 again, but play goes on. King will carry it forward himself. Billington gets involved in the tackle. Barrow 5 out. Billington's going to be stranded behind the play the ball. Now Tier. It's almost like the reverse of parts of the first half where Widnes couldn't find their way over, but Barrow at the other end. In the second half at the same end, I should say. Brad Walker skipping a jump, nearly gets through. It's the last tackle. Here's Wood. Oh, and they've opened Widnes up on the last, and it's Ryan King. Widnes bit there, and Wood's flat pass finds King, and it was so simple for him. And the inquest will start behind the post for Widnes here, but Barrow well and truly back in the game. Widnes 8, Barrow 4.
Yeah, it's just weight pressure, wasn't it? And several times they nearly forced away for the Barrow. And it's just run out of numbers in the end. And Ryan King found himself in a big hole and touches down to make it 8-4. A kickable goal kick as well. 12 in from the right-hand touchline, and we could have a 2-point ball game in a moment.
Yep, so just over 6 minutes by my watch, start of this second half. And Brad Walker has the chance to convert this try. Taking his time. It's about 12 metres in from the right touchline.
Yeah, you'll fancy your chances here, Brad Walker. There's a little bit of breeze about, not a lot.
But Barrow there, really more pressure at the start of the second half than in the whole of the first. Widnes will be disappointed with how they defended that very last tackle, because they defended pretty well up to that point as Walker misses the conversion. It's not a day for the goal kickers. We've had 3 tries and no goals.
Betfred Championship score now. Vikings 8, Raiders 4.
Yeah, Widnes could do with establishing a bit field position at the other end, couldn't they?
I think Billington's asking the referee the question about the high tackle that was awarded in the middle of that spell of pressure. I don't think Billington agreed too much with the decision. No, him and James Vella have just been discussing that as Richardson's kick-off. Is that, for a moment, thought it was going to be too deep, but it dipped at the last minute. The lower house lane end is still covered in scaffolding. They're replaning the steel, or however you call that, whatever that process is, where you strip the steel down, repaint it and retreat it, etc. It's an ongoing process, and no scoreboard either. As Brad Walker passes out to Johnston. Now Cresswell, he's got Toll on his left, but Cresswell runs it in and he's tackled by Owens, Gilmore and Lawton. The Holy Trinity there. Toll gets away from the markers. He doesn't get away from Adam Lawton, who for a moment thought was going to ragdoll him over the sideline. Last tackle, Johnston rushed. Gets a booming kick away. Skips along nicely from a Barrow point of view, and to be fair, nearly turned into what would have been an extraordinary 40-20. But managed to claim hold of it in the end, because it was right from the other side of the ground, but such was the skip that he got on the ball.
I've always thought, I don't know why teams on pitches like this don't go for the far touch line, James, because you can get a lot of roll on the ball on these on this artificial surface.
Langtree straightens things up for Widnes in centre field. Widnes 8, Barrow 4. Gilmore to Lawton. Good tackle round the legs from Josh Wood on Lawton. It had to be. Last tackle. Barrow have backed off a little bit, and Richardson will put a high kick up. It's a little deep for a chase, but not makes the catch. He'll cut inside, and he's met by Langtree.
I just sometimes think Danny Richardson, when he kicks those balls, he's kicking them a little bit within himself, isn't he? You know, I just think, give it a good lash.
There's Toll, shrugs off a couple of men. I think Widnes were asking whether he knocked on the ball there. Broadbent goes from dummy half, but doesn't get away from Owens at second marker. Now Johnston will kick early.
That's a good kick,
It is, and that's a 40-20 if it goes. And it does go. And Barrow, they threatened one just moments ago, and Ryan Johnston has nailed a 40-20. And all of a sudden, Barrow are back on the Widnes line with a full set of 6. Kicked early in the count. Mike Butt wasn't back. What an opportunity this is for Barrow to at least level the scores. Here's Stack. Tackled 4 metres out. Wood to Brad Walker. Now Richard spins off Lawton. In the end, Hall halts him under the uprights. Might got away with one there, Lewis Hall. Wood gets away from the men on the line and finds Harvey Makin. Langtree brings him to ground. Now Johnston, short pass to Robson. Fozzard halts his progress. Real test this for Widnes now on their own line. Wood. Johnston, flat pass. Oh, and it was intercepted by Richardson. He couldn't hold it in though. And so Barrow will get another set. It was a high-risk pass from Barrow, and I don't think Richard necessarily was intending to go for the interception, but so flat was the ball that it almost became his.
Yeah, it was one of those plays that could go either way. As it is, I think Greg Richards is having a bit of treatment, so we're going to have a stoppage in play here. But Widnes are going to find themselves under more pressure. Barrow look capable of getting over the line again here. Could have done with that ball sticking there, Danny Richardson. That would have been handy.
Yeah, the weight of pressure told last time. So the referee's just a word with Robson about something or other. It's going to be a scrum, 10 out from the Widnes line. Well, with 10 minutes gone in the second half, John Lawson take over.
Here come Barrow from the scrum then. Walker. Missed tackle. Are they going in here? Raiders? No, not quite. Stopped right on the line. All hands to the pump for the Vikings. Matty Fozzard rushes out the line and stops the ball going any further left. Here's King. The Barrow try scorer has lost the ball, and that is a relief to this crowd who give the Vikings defence a round of applause, and I'm sure it's a relief to the Vikings players as well.
Rangers substitution, number 8, Thomas Walker returns to the field. He replaces
big raps for Widnes there for keeping Barrow out, because, well, next to no pressure really in the first half, but Barrow being all over Widnes at the start of this second half. But as it is, Widnes still hold the lead.
Yep. Don't want to give the ball away early here, the Vikings. Could do with finishing the other end of the field at the very least. As Richardson feeds the scrum. Here's Ryan Ince. Pokes his nose through, plays the ball. Now Jack Owens. That's two good clearing runs by the Widnes three quarters. Now Adam Lawton has it. He gets a great offload away. Allows Matty Fozzard to scoot forward. He stopped just short of halfway. Now Richardson drops it off for Wild. Wild looking for a gap, not really finding one. Josh Wood's defence is excellent, isn't it? Good technique. Good run by Murray now. This is a set all round by Widnes. They've had 5 tackles, but they've made 70 metres in that 5 tackles. Here's Richardson. Dinks the ball up. Connell needs a challenge for that. He does challenge for it. And I'm not really sure what went on there. I thought that probably should have been play on. I thought Connell knocked it back, Barrow knocked it back, ended up with it, but the referee looked a little bit uncertain himself, James, didn't he? He put the whistle to his lips, took it away, then eventually decided there was something wrong with it.
Well, I thought when the ball came back, I thought Connell should have gone for it. I thought, like I say, I thought it was play on, and sort of Connell let Barrow have the ball on the, after a couple of bounces. I thought Connell could have actually made a play for that ball, but as it is, he must have seen the knock on, because Widnes after scrum. Ellis Robson's holding his shoulder, wants to come off. He's gone down here.
Yeah, he's gone down deliberately in a position where you can't play on.
Yeah, and that's sensible from him, because it enables Barrow to get the another player on. Can't be green carded because he's coming off anyway. So it was he did the right thing there, Ellis Robson, because if he'd have stayed on, he might have got himself into even more of a mischief.
So Ellis Gillam is back on. Let's see what Widnes come up with here. Is Matty Fozzard going to have one of his little dashes from loose forward? No, he's going to pass the ball to Jack Owens. Uses Gilmore as a foil and tries to force his way through a gap, but can't quite push through. And see what Widnes can come up with. That's good defence by Barrow. Widnes are 10 out. 4 tackles left in the set. Here's Danny Langtree. Good offload by Langtree. Matty Fozzard has he scored?
No.
What are we doing here?
Knock on. The referee stopped and looked at that for a very long time.
What's he given? Is it a knock on in front of the line?
He's given a knock on, yeah.
It must be in front of the line if it's going to be a scrum. Matty Fozzard has a different opinion.
The referee had a long look at that. He just stayed almost motionless, didn't he, the referee, for a while? It was almost like he was trying to replay it in his own mind, what he'd seen. And Fozzard's obviously just come up just short of the line.
Not sure he thinks that, James, to be honest with you, but it's what the ref thinks that counts. So Barrow survive a scare there and get the ball from the scrum. Widnes will want to pin them down here. Wood dummy half. Stack. This is a yardage here for Barrow. Adam Lawton having a little bit of push and shove with his opposite number. That's a good long ball. Widnes are funneling back here, but need to.
Yeah, Mike Butter dropped back early, hadn't he? And it just meant there was an overlap there.
Here's the kick on the last tackle. It's a high bomb. They've got players under it, Barrow, and I think they caught it, but Ryan Ince has dragged the Barrow player to the floor, and it'll be a handover. But this game is in the balance. It's 8-4, and it could go either way. There's no doubt about that.
Certainly much more of a game than the first half. Widnes were in control. We did fear that they'd not got enough points on the board and from that dominance, and so it's proved so far in this second half.
Here's Murray, Roberts. Widnes bringing the ball away from their own 20. Murray again. Crowd looking for the referee to help Widnes out a little bit here with a little something, a set of 6 or a penalty. Here's Connell. Not entirely sure that pass was even meant for him, but now the ball's back with Richardson, who kicks it between winger and fullback. Not a bad kick that from Danny Richardson. It's fielded by Broadbent, who runs straight into Adam Lawton. He's driven back by a combination of Johnston and Lawton. Tries to buy a penalty for himself, but referee's not having that.
I'm glad the referee didn't buy that, because that was a bit pathetic, to be honest.
It's run by Toll, but he stopped. They've burnt through a few tackles here, Barrow. I think that's 4 in this set. Yep, so this is the last. They'll be kicking from 10 inside their own half. And Walker it is, who goes sort of cross field, and it gets a nice bounce for Ryan Ince. Widnes will take that as a win. Ince brings the ball back to his own 30 before the tackle is made. Plays the ball to Richardson. Scruffy played the ball, but legal according to the referee. Now Mike Butt has it. Crowd on the referee's back here. Oh, that's good tackling. Wood's tackle technique is excellent, isn't it? It really is. On much bigger men, he's pushing them back. But they still have possession here through Murray. He plays the ball to Fozzard. And Richardson shrugs off a tackle, but can't beat the next one. Here's Jack Owens. He's going to dig the ball to the corner. Owens, I think he just wanted that one to run on, didn't he? But didn't quite get the run that he wanted.
Yeah, it was a smart kick as well. He was just unfortunate with the bounce.
Got a feeling that it's the next bad error that could be crucial in this game. Widnes would like Barrow to make that right now, if it's possible to will that. But Barrow's go forward has actually been better in the second half than it was in the first, and no markers there, which gives Cresswell an easy win out of dummy half. Last tackle. Here's Walker again, blasts the ball downfield. Mike Butt will let that run dead, I suspect. and dead it runs. So it'll be a 7-tackle set for the Vikings.
Yeah, Walker's getting a lot on his kicks, isn't he? I think I'd be trying to get Johnston on the kicks a bit more, given the success he's had.
Mike Butt taps the ball. That'll be the 0 tackle. That's good defence by the Raiders, putting Butt on his back, on his butt, you could say. Danny Langstree offloads there. No one was really awake to it. Matty Fozzard gets back and picks up the pieces. Here's Max Roberts. He's tackled 15 short of halfway, Roberts. Fozzard. Johnston pokes his nose through. He'll be looking for the quick play of the ball. He gets one. Gilmore. Got Langtree on his inside. That's 4 tackles gone in this set, so still 2 to go. Fozzard jumps out a dummy half. Lovely ball to Connell. Connell's going for the line. Gets the ball out to Gilmore. Brilliant play from Connell. And Gilmore booking it up under the points. Great play from Fozzard. Great play from Connell. And good backing up from Tom Gilmore. And the Vikings, well, just get the impression they needed to just stretch that to a 2-score lead, and that's what they've done. It becomes 12 points to 4 with an easy goal kick to come. And is that the moment this game gets broken open, James?
Yeah, excellent bit of play from Connell, because it was his run that for a moment thought he was going to open up for him to get to the line, but he just managed to get the pass away to Tom Gilmore. There was a couple of instances in that set from Widnes where they just promoted the ball a little bit more, waited for a runner to join the play, and it paid dividends on that occasion. A good try from Tom Gilmore, bang in front of the post as well, so Widnes should open up a 10-point lead here.
Yeah, that was really excellent play. You just got the impression both teams were starting to run low on petrol. The ball had been in play for quite a bit, and it was Widnes who took advantage. Started with a nice inside ball from Tom Gilmore, which allowed Langtree to make some useful meters. And then some good play up the middle. Fozzard jumping in on the back of that. Getting the elusive Connell free. And there was Tom Gilmore to back up on the inside as Connell popped the ball up. And Gilmore goes under the post unmolested. And Danny Richardson has a chance to test the scaffolding on the stand here. The West Stand. So it's about to become 14-4 in the Vikings' favour as we hit the hour mark. There it goes. No problem for Richardson. And, well, but just can't rest on the laurels. There's a long way to go here. Probably thick under 20 minutes. Here's James.
Yeah, it's important for Widnes to get the next score. Barrow have really stuck things on Widnes at the start of this second half. It showed why Barrow are in the top 5 of the championship. Well coached by Paul Crary, have been for a number of years. They're a tough team to beat. I mentioned earlier, they've not necessarily been blowing teams away, but they've been winning a lot of tight matches, and you can see that in the way that they played. Widnes have lost the ball here off the kick-off. It was Murray. The ball's come out, so Barrow have got the ball back, 10 out from the Widnes line. Widnes had 3 markers in there. Walker is tackled. What a chance for Barrow to hit straight back. Brad Walker to Ryan King. He's held up and stood up 10 metres out, so almost back where they started, Barrow. Brad Walker, short pass, good tackle. Round the legs of Making by Jordan Johnston. Now, Ryan Johnston, long pass. Ryan in saw the danger. He would have been outnumbered. He manages to get to Toll and eventually gets Toll to ground. Barrow on the last. The Widnes have handled this set well so far. Can they finish the job? Johnston gets away from Owens. Chips a kick in. Gilmore makes the catch. Hits the turf. And Widnes survive. That set seems to go past lightning fast.
You called it well there, James. Widnes really did well in that set. Kept Barrow at bay. Now, let's see if they can get away from their own end.
Just what you don't need after scoring is losing the ball in the first tackle, but Widnes stayed firm as Johnston saw something, went the direct route through the middle. Widnes wanting a 6 again off someone there. Referee not interested. And now Langtree will try and take a couple of men with him. Widnes on the last, still inside their own half. Fozzard at dummy half goes to his left. Gilmore, plenty of time to pick his spot, and he finds the ground between Knott and Creswell. It bounces a couple of times, a bit awkwardly for Knott. And then he's well met by Butt and Roberts. So Widnes just trying to grab back a bit of control in this match. Widnes 14, Barrow 4, but Barrow fought back at the start of the second half, having trailed 8-0 at the break. Creswell. Now here's Ryan King. Joe Bullock getting ready to come back on for Barrow. So now Ryan Johnston, they give the ball there to the left with Creswell. Gilmore makes the tackle on Creswell. From all the stack was going to get in the way. Bit of pressure from Owens on Johnston, but it's another testing kick by Ryan Johnston, and Butts missed it completely. And Dan Knott's picked it up, and then he gets up and gets the ball away to Bullock. It's 6 again, a fresh set for Barrow. Well, I'm not sure whether it would have been a knock-on by Mike Butt, but he didn't get to the ball anyway after the initial error. Here's Gillen. And again, Johnston's kick causing problems for Widnes. Wood goes himself from dummy half, but he's held up by 4 Widnes tacklers, just a metre out from the line. Gillen goes in at dummy half. Oh, Brad Walker's gone down, and there's going to be a penalty here for Barrow. Brad Walker taken out late. Jack Owens is barking at somebody. He's not happy with what happened there. Mike Butt, did he knock it on? John?
I think he knocked it backwards.
So he should have retrieved it, basically, is what
Well,
we're
there's
saying.
no point in not retrieving it anyway, is there? You know what I mean?
So we're going to have a stoppage as Walker's stayed down after that late contact. So Barrow will have a penalty.
I think the effectiveness of Ryan Johnston's kicking game is he gives it a whack, James, doesn't he? He gives it an almost everything he's got. And that means if he does slightly miss-hit it, it can do a lot of things in the air. So, but that's the key. He gives the ball a really good thump, and it can cause problems for the opposition.
Jay Chapelhour's come back on for Widnes for Danny Langtree. The referee's now having a word with Jack Owens following that late contact.
Someone's going to bin.
Jack Owens is being sin-binned. It wasn't he who made the late contact, Jack Owens.
If he's something to the referee there, Jack, he's a fool. And I hate saying that. I'm not saying he has, by the way. I don't know why he's been sin-binned. There's no clear signal from the referee, but Widnes are down to 12 and defending for their lives here, and they are going to concede. Not quite.
Bodies everywhere there.
It's got me confused, James. I'm not sure what's going on over there. Penalty to Barrow is what I can tell you.
Barrow have had 5 consecutive penalties in this second half.
I think that might have been for talking, actually, that penalty. I'm not sure. Again, signal doesn't seem that clear, but Barrow were trying to use their numbers, and they've done it. And, well, just drifted inside. Curtis Tier just drifted inside Max Roberts' arm there, and they've scored wide out. Widnes could really have done with keeping them out there, because that means Barrow are now within a converted score, and they've got a conversion to come. So 14-8 it becomes, 14-10 if Barrow land this goal.
Yeah, and the weight of pressure again, just telling Widnes down to 12 for this key part of the match. It's going to be a tough one for Widnes from here, because they've still got 9 minutes, a man down, and Barrow might sense that this game is now there for the taking for them.
Yep. Let's see if Brad Walker kicks this. He gets more dangerous, of course, for Widnes. At the moment, If he misses this, there'll still be a converted score behind the Raiders. Here he comes. No, he's pulled that across the post. So he's not really skirting the post with his 2 goal attempts. Brad
Let
Walker.
Johnston have them, to be honest. That all came, that passage of play all came from Johnston's kit that caused Widnes issues. And you can't win the raffle if you don't buy a ticket. It can only be for dissent, the Owens thing. I mean, there's no other reason, surely, that he could have been tipping, because it wasn't Owens who put the late shot on.
Do you think it was for dissent after the ref had called him over during that conversation?
No, I don't
or do you think it was for
think
dissent?
so. I think maybe there'd been some dissent before. I'd assume Owens was perhaps asking the question, why didn't he give the one on Gilmore in the first half, maybe, but as captain, he's got a right to ask, I guess, so it must have been a bit more sinister than that. I think Max Roberts will be a bit disappointed with his effort in defence there on
Here by Barrow.
Got up and played it, has he? He's not played it properly.
Now Barrow's turn to not be on the right side of the referee.
It's an opportunity for Widnes to score points or put points on here, but it's also an opportunity for them to wind the clock down a little bit.
Yeah.
Drop goal.
If you're giving me a choice, I'll have the points, James.
Would you contemplate a drop goal, John?
I would, actually.
That's Richardson.
At the end of it.
Yeah, obviously. Richardson puts the ball in. I think Barrow got a bit of a strike on it. Referee had a look and then hasn't given anything. Connell's picked up. A little unnecessary for Barrow given the situation. And Lauren gets in.
Could be a sin binning coming here, I think.
And it was just so unnecessary from Barrow to do that on Connell. It was told. I think the game's there for Barrow, but they've just lost a little bit of discipline. Toll's gone over and shut the hand of Connell, but I think Toll might be off here. It's still going on in the far side. It's getting a bit tasty over there, and the officials are going to have to unpick a bit of this. Broadbent and Lawton sort of. I think Lawton was asking Broadbent what tanning salon he goes to, and they started having a little bit of handbags. And, the referee's going to have to pick the bones. Just unnecessary from Barrow in their situation.
Yeah, I can understand why you want to rough up Nathan Connell. He's a very good player, and you want to make it, when you can get rid of him, make it hurt, don't you? But you can't tip him up and slam him on his head, I'm afraid. That's not allowed. So we'll see what comes of this. Be very interesting to see if anyone goes to the bin here.
I think Lawton and Broadbent might see this in bin here.
I think Lawton, I wish Lawton had stayed out of that, because I think one of the Barrow players involved in the tackle would have gone to the bin on their own. As it is, we could be playing 12 versus 11 in a minute. By the way, Widnes should kick the goal from this penalty, which I presume they're going to get.
I mean, let's not get too carried away.
Try to kick the goal. Yeah, we haven't got the penalty given.
It's 12 metres in from the right-hand side. The officials are in conference. Josh Vella. They don't put the first names on the team sheet. Mr. Pemberton and Mr. Williams.
Yeah.
I mean, in this day and age, we assume that they're misters. The referee's calling. Who's he calling over?
I think you're going to want to speak to Adam Lawton, isn't he? He'd blown the whistle for the penalty before the trouble started.
Yeah, I think the referee's going to say Lawton shouldn't have it in. And yeah, Lawton's being simbined here. So Widnes down to 11. I mean, surely there's some Barrow players going to follow here. If not, surely going to be a Barrow player following, at least one.
You know what, James? I just think it's easy for me to say. I'm sat up here. I'm not in the heat of the battle there. But if Adam Lawton doesn't go in there I know he's incensed because of the tackle, but if he doesn't go in there, I think we have a 12-a-side game. As it is, let's see what happens, but I don't think it could be a sending off this or what have you. Sending off or sin bin is the same thing at the moment, isn't it? Because we're pretty much in the last 10 anyway. But I think if Lawton stays out of that, it can only be good for Widnes.
Well, I've not got plans for the evening. There's a yellow card for Toll. So Toll made the initial tackle. And it both been simmered, yeah. I called it Broadbent and Law and both the bin. Toll as well. So 11 on 11, is that right, John?
It is. Toll, to be fair to Toll, by the way, I know you said he went over and spoke to Connell before. He's just apologised for the tackle, which is fair enough, you know what I mean? It was a dangerous tackle.
Yeah, it was, and it was a penalty, and it probably was a sin bin. I think in Barrow's situation, they'll be so disappointed at how they've done that, because the game was there for the taking. It still might be there for the taking for Barrow, but they still had, 7-8 minutes against 12 men. And now as it goes, we've got 11 on 11. Based on the fitness we've seen from both sides, you'd fancy Widnes are perhaps a little fitter than Barrow. So in theory, 11 on 11 should suit Widnes, although we've been down that road before.
I think they should be kicking a goal, shouldn't they, James?
Well, I mean, the danger with kicking the goal is that you miss. Barrow could take it short, and they could always get a drop goal at the end of this set.
Yeah, well, that would be the play, I think. Well, the play would be scoring a try. Of course, here's Sam Wild going for the line. There's a bit of space. He's right under the uprights. If we just want to take a drop goal. Gilmore, I have a feeling they're now setting up for it, having refused the penalty goal.
Well, Richardson's wide out, so he's not a contender.
Here's Gilmore's numbers for Widnes here, surely! And he scored, Tom Gilmore, his momentum took him over the line. James Miller gives a try. I think he only just saw Tom Gilmore, but clearly it was his momentum that took him over. I knew they shouldn't have kicked the goal. And, well, we said it before, but that gives the Vikings a bit more breathing space. Well, there's 11 against 11, James, and there's going to be more space for both sides in the remainder of this game.
Yeah, he's done really well there, Gilmore, to run at the line. Clearly he was looking to pass it, but Barrow's line had pushed up really high, and Gilmore ran at the line, and the momentum as he hit the floor just took him over the line. And that might be just the key moment in this match.
Yeah, it might. Danny Richardson could do with landing this goal. And, credit to Tom Gilmore there. I think the Barrow players were all looking for him to pass that wide. There's only 11 players, remember, on each side. And he just saw enough of a gap and had just enough pace to force his way through it and slide over for the touchdown. I think he's quite smart there, Tom, because he could easily have promoted his arms forward, which may have looked like a double movement, but I think he just kept the ball tucked in, from what I could tell from this angle. Now Richardson. He's missed a couple so far. Kicked the last one from under the post. Let's see if he can knock this one over. Yes, he can. So, Widnes open a 20-8 lead up here. Not entirely sure how long's left. What's your estimate, James?
I'm not sure. I thought I'm thinking there's about 6 minutes left. Is the referee stop the clock here? I've not seen a signal. He has to stop it. If we win the last 5 minutes, he stops the clock there. I reckon there's maybe about 6 minutes left.
So, Barrow might go short here. They are doing. Walker chips the ball. Who's coming for that? Fozzard. Tackled in the air, wasn't he, Fozzard? No. According to the referee, we just need to make sure they keep hold of this ball here. Jack Owens will be back before the end of the game.
Yeah, the other three will definitely be off for the remainder. I think we can be fairly confident of that.
Chapelhow takes it forward for the Vikings. Sam Wild gets his left paw out, but Bullock hangs on. I mean, if you were going to come back 11 against 11, you'd prefer that to 13 against 13, wouldn't you? Gilmore's decided just to take time out of the clock with a dribble into touch. He forced Barrow to come from 10 metres from their own line. The clock has been stopped again, so probably only gained Widnes about 4 seconds, that kick to touch.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's player of the match, as selected by the Village Social Club, goes to Widnes Vikings, number 16, sponsored by the Morton family, Danny Lentry.
So Barrow then, I know they're in the last chance saloon here. They need 2 converted tries just to make this game a draw. And forward they come. Offloaded. Great ball as well. Here's Ryan King. He's not got the pace to go too far. He's holding Richardson at arm's length, almost literally. But just eventually bring him down.
Jack Owens is back on.
We're just all shifting across here. Barrow are keeping the ball alive. You can't blame them for that. Hint of obstruction there. Widnes have got the ball back. Max Roberts is clear. There's no one going to catch him. Max Roberts is teeing up a little bit. Can he make the run? I think he can. And Max Roberts comes away. Surely the score that wins this game for the Vikings. But Barrow in their desperation, keeping the ball alive. And Max Roberts, he's worked so hard this afternoon, Max Roberts. I think that was the last of his legs there that he was using to get away, a desperate chase back. I think it was by Ellis Gillam, but Roberts just had the pace to get to the line. And at 24-8, goal kick to come. That has to be good night Vienna in terms of Barrow's challenge in this game. And surely the Vikings are taking the spoils in what's been an entertaining, at times chaotic game, but looks like the Vikings are going to come out on top, James.
The player of the match was selected by big match sponsor West End Motors. That's West End Motors. Thank you.
Danny Langtry has got the local sponsors man of the match in this game.
I think Owens would have been a contender, probably. Simbin, you can't get a man of the match if you've been Simbined, I guess.
Well, you probably can, but anyway, Richardson will take all the time allowed with this goal kick. There's no doubt about that. Widnes now actually have a man advantage, don't forget. 12 against 11 it is in Widnes' favour in these last couple of minutes or whatever's left in this game. I'm sure the message has been passed on as to exactly how much time is left. Here's Richardson then. Took the ball back about 20 metres. He's slightly more than 10 in from the touchline. He's trying to just draw it in, but started it too far outside the far post on that occasion. Shouldn't matter in the big picture because Widnes are now 24-8 to the good.
22? Is it 24?
Is it 24? 22? 20.
Is it 20?
It's 24, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Was it 20 points to 8 then?
Yeah.
Before that try, right?
Yeah.
I'm here now.
Yeah.
I was just trying to work out, I mean, goal kicking's not, it's not cost Widnes, but they've had, 5 tries, 2 goals?
So another short kick-off coming here, surely, from Barrow, you have to think. That one is well taken by Ryan Ince. Just a bit too much depth on it, really, from Brad Walker. Widnes have just got to play out sets here, you have to think.
Paul Carey he'll be just wondering what might have happened had Toll not done that spear tackle on Connell.
Here's Chapelhow. He's tackled on halfway. Fozzard. This should be a scenario that Matty Fozzard loves because obviously there's going to be extra space on this field. Here's Richardson. Drops the ball off to Wild. Wild can't quite shake the tackle off, but well, I think Jay Chappell threatened a kick there. He might as well just running the ball in. Barrow have it back, and I thought they were going to kick then, to be honest with you. Here's Johnston.
I mean, now the referee's not judged there was a knock on there. I don't know. I mean, I think probably Chappell knocked it on first, but the Barrow player definitely knocked it on after him.
Here's Bullock for Barrow.
The referee said play on.
He's just offloaded that Bullock, in my opinion, but
the referee said he's called held.
Yeah, the tackle was already made. Must be right on the brink of the hooter here. Barrow are just going to sling this everywhere, I suspect. But we're just moving quickly with the tackle. Gillen takes it forward. He's looking for an offload, but it's not on. He's dropped the ball, and well, he immediately turned to the referee and say it was interference in the tackle, but the referee said differently, and that pretty much should be that. What's going on here, James? Widnes have sent the referee. Oh no, Widnes have decided to have the scrum on that side. That's all it was, and there's the hooter anyway, so there'll be no scrum. Jack Owen shakes the hand of James Vella, and well, that game was in the balance probably until the moment there was a tip tackle on Nathan Connell, and the resulting LA saw two Barrow players go to the bin, along with Adam Lawton at the time. Jack Owens was already in the bin, so it evened things up in the game. Widnes in the end, probably an evenish second half. First half, Widnes dominated, but in the end, the most important thing is, James, that monkey off the back that Widnes needed to get rid of in terms of beating one of the sides around them in the table. Well, that's what they've achieved. Yeah,
it was an important win for Widnes. It was a must-win game for them, and they made hard work of it. That flurry of cards we saw in the final stages of the game, probably deciding which way it was going to go. You have to give Barrow a lot of credit, because we thought Widnes dominated the first half. We were concerned that Widnes hadn't got enough points on the board, and I think the way Barrow started the second half showed why we were perhaps concerned. They dragged themselves right back into the contest. The key moment for me, that tip tackle. Barrow still had 7 or 8 minutes with a man advantage. If Toll doesn't do that, maybe we're looking at a different outcome. But Widnes won't care now. They've come up with the 2 points. They go above Barrow in the table, and that might be crucial come the end of the year.
Yeah, it was a seesaw second half. It certainly had no shortage of incidents. It was 8-0 in the Vikings' favour at half-time. Barrow pulled the try back through Ryan King to make it 8-4. Tom Gilmore's try, converted by Danny Richardson on the hour mark or thereabouts, give Widnes a 10-point cushion that we hope might be the springboard for them to go on and win this game. But Jack Owen's sin binning opened the door a little bit for the visitors. They hit back with a try, 14-8 at that stage, but then we had the incidents. There was a tip tackle on Nathan Connell that led to a bit of an all-in pushing match. And Widnes, the result of that was Adam Lawton sin bin for the Vikings and 2 Barrow players going off. So then it was a game of 11 against 11. Tom Gilmore took advantage of that to ghost his way over. Danny Richardson had any extras to make it 20 points to 8. And then right at the death, with Barrow desperate and trying to offload all the time, the ball popped into the hands of Max Roberts, who just about made it to the line from somewhere near halfway once the ball dropped into his lap, and that was the end of the scoring. So a vital 2 points for Widnes to go above Barrow in the table. Entertaining game for the crowd. The final score here from the DCBL Stadium: Widnes 24, Barrow Raiders 8.